Hi, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night Live. It's our Labor of Love 13, lucky 13. I'm Ellen, and Tricia's not here. Um, this is what happened. So she called me a half hour ago, and I just had a feeling. I was like, what? And she called. I said, Tricia? She said, Ellen. She said, I just broke my wrist and my husband is going to take me to the emergency room. I was like, oh my gosh, Trisha. I said, go, go. I can't believe she called me. She's so sweet. So prayers, Trisha, to you, and that you're not in any pain, and that you're recovering and you're getting it all taken care of. And we love you, and we love you, love you, love you. And we're just thinking about you so much, and we'll update everybody as soon as we get it. But luckily it was just a wrist that we know that it'll be fine. But anyway, healings for you. We love you. So tonight's gonna be wonderful, and I can't wait to bring on Barb. So I am gonna bring her on, and we're, you know, just gonna have a wonderful discussion. I feel so fortunate she's a co-host on The View of Truth. So she's just great, and she has a story, and we're going to talk, and we're just going to have a blast and share this Saturday night with everybody. Barb, hi.
Hi. Hi, everybody. It's so weird just being just you and me. I'm used to the girls.
I know it's normally the four of us, and so this is just really fun. I mean, because it's just going to be one on one, and we get to just to hear your incredible story. And you know you're just, I said this before we weren't on, um you're just so genuine and authentic and real and loving and all that, and your life experiences, like everybody else, has taken you right here, and you're in such a wonderful place. You tell me things with such joy and excitement, and that's just so awesome
Yeah.
you
It's
know
been it's been a ride. But, it's been a beautiful ride if you look at it in a different way, especially with a sober
exactly.
mind now.
Yeah. So we're gonna start back at the beginning, and hear everything, because I really can't wait. But I thought we should at least start and talk a little bit, since it is Valentine's Day. I was diving into the history of it, and it's nothing. The first thing that you look at, it says nothing's proven. We don't know anything. Nothing's proven. So I was like, yeah, I don't care about that. So, but a couple interesting tidbits. Um, that the Bible refers to the heart symbolically, from what ChatGPT told me, over 800 times, but never as the little literal organ of emotion. It represents in the Bible will, intention, and spirit. So that's all really great. Um, But the origins of it, I thought, was really fascinating, actually, of the actual symbol of the heart, with the, because that, yes, I just thought was just so interesting. So let me pull it up. Uh, okay, here we go. So this is what's so interesting. So here is this plant, the original seed pod that may have inspired the heart shape. So long time ago, in a Greek city of Cyrene in North Africa. So there was this incredible plant that they say is extinct now. Um, and it was incredibly healing. And it was the seed part of it, um, of the plant. And it's called Silphium plant. It was so, so, so healing. Also, though, Barb, women used it for contraceptive, which is crazy to me. And I was trying, and they would take it once a month, and somehow it kept them from getting pregnant, which is nuts to me. But it was
Yeah,
so valuable for its healing medicinal purposes and for the contraceptive purposes, which is fascinating, that they put it on coins. Here is actually a coin from the 6th century with that seed imprinted in it, and that's the shape of the seed.
that's
And
nuts. Wow.
crazy. So that's
Yeah,
coin from that time with the shape of the heart. And but they said it was so medicinal that the Greek people knew exactly. It was really hard to to maintain and to grow, and they were very careful because they knew how it was just valuable it was. Well, when the Romans took over, Caesar came in and took all the crops, hoarded it for himself, and then ended up actually it went it went extinct actually.
go
And
figure the Romans took us something and took it away. I'm sorry,
yeah,
I've been reading the
isn't that
Bible, like, the Romans,
yeah,
like
I know.
so that doesn't shock me that the Romans did that,
Yeah.
so
Yes. And it's fascinating that back in the day, these medicinal plants were taken away at the time by greedy people, and then later in our time, they were taken away because they didn't want us to use them, and
exactly,
they wanted the
exactly.
pharmaceuticals, which is just also crazy. Um, but, the greater meaning obviously is about love and our connections to everyone and each other, and that's the greater meaning. And so I wanted to share this really quickly as well. And I know I showed you this, and I think Audrey might have given this to us originally, but this is RFK actually talking about how important it is, the greater meaning of being able to connect with each other. And
Mhm,
that's the greater meaning. So I just want to play this real quick.
'kay. I don't think I'm seeing anything.
Oh, you weren't seeing that?
No,
Oh, dang it.
no.
Okay, let me
You
play it. So
forgot to pull it up.
now I know. Can you see now?
I can see it now.
Excellent.
Manufactured
Sorry.
through each other, through organized religions, through the great books of those religions, through wise people and the prophets, and through nature. Nowhere with such texture and grace and joy as through other human beings. And when we cut off our relationships with other human beings, we lose that access to the divine. And that is a healing power. We are we are in a spiritual malaise in this country. And we need to give people access to all different ways of reconnecting with something that is higher than themselves.
And so, I mean, basically, it's about connecting with each other. And, I think Valentine's should be about us just connecting with each other,
Absolutely. I
because that is
totally
the
agree with
higher
that.
love.
Yeah, I
Yes.
totally agree with that because they have totally turned it into buy this, buy that, go out to eat,
Right.
go buy candy, like we were saying yesterday. Like it they make it marketable instead of personable. Spend time with your
Right.
family, talk to each other, love on each other, spend dinner with
Yes.
each other at home, and maybe watch a movie together. Like tonight, me and Paul, after the show, we're gonna cook dinner together with, for Pops and everything like that. And we're gonna watch The Chosen with him. That's what
Yay.
Valentine's is about. Like you spend
Yes.
time with each other. You don't go out and go buy candy, go buy teddy bears and flowers. I mean, flowers are nice, but they die off. Like that
Yeah.
that's how I feel. They die off, but the love that you spend time with each other, that's the most important thing.
Of course, yes, and, they put so much pressure on guys to buy this, buy that, and
Yes.
purposefully, obviously, so we spend money, but it's about just being together and being together with all your loved ones, any loved ones, family, the people that we're in with today, the people in the chat. There's just no greater love than that connection, as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said,
Agree.
it's that's the difference, and so that to me, hopefully, maybe in the future, Barb, that's what Valentine's Day will represent more too, as we get
Right.
away from all this. What do you think it will, maybe?
I hope so. I mean, I if people would start feeling and being that way, then they'll start seeing Valentine's in a different way. And
Yes.
I mean, when Paul and I were doing jujitsu constantly for 5 years in a row until we took our little hiatus, Valentine's Day was always on jujitsu day. So what did we go do? We went and did jujitsu. That was our
Yeah,
Valentine's Day. I have
that's
like on
fantastic.
like on Facebook, you know how you get your memory things and everything like that from the years prior. I went on it today and I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at all those years that we were not doing the so-called go out and eat, go out and do this and go out and do that. We were
Yeah.
doing what we love to do together, and that was jujitsu."
Exactly, and that's what it's all about,
Mhm.
Barb, you just nailed it, and as you were saying that, I was thinking about this too, and I know everybody in the chat thinks this. People are getting addicted, have been addicted to pharmaceutical drugs, but they've gotten people addicted to sugar, and
Mhm.
they've made it, and that's one of the things that in the new realfood.gov, they say to avoid sugar, and, they're really being strong about that.
Right.
Not honey and not the nat and so they literally, the powers that were, created every single holiday is around candy.
Yeah.
Every one.
Paul and I, he found, I guess it was on X or it was either on Instagram, and it was today. There was this guy on there, he was talking about the sugar. Guess what's making us sick and stay sick? It's the
Yep.
sugar in our system. It's the sugar that gets stayed in our system. If it's not
Yes,
natural sugar, it's man-made sugar
correct.
that is constantly making people sick.
That's right, yes, and so, it's gonna be fascinating too to see, Barb, how all these holidays, how we're gonna find out what they really mean, the true meaning, that we're gonna get away from this just bombarding our children with sugar. They had to hit the first thing, which was vaccines for kids, but now and getting over processed foods out and dyes and all those things. But sugar's coming,
Yeah.
you know?
Even even in our jujitsu last night in jujitsu watching Paul, because I haven't started back yet because I'm trying to gain some weight because the guys are bigger than me and I'm really tiny right now ever since stopping. So I'm trying to gain myself some weight back to be able to handle the boys. I know I can handle them, but to gain that weight
Mm.
to be able to handle the pressure and stuff like that. Like he was talking about candy. He was like, "You know me, guys, I don't like that candy, and you know what tomorrow is." And I'm like, "I've literally cut out all the candy, sir, so you ain't got nothing to worry about with me and Paul."
Yeah, and that's fantastic, and it is true, once you can if you can stop, you do start to lose that craving, but it's
Yeah.
hard, addictive, and, but it's going to be, but obviously the candy industry has a stranglehold
Yes.
on things,
Yes.
and, so it is gonna be interesting to see how that all plays out, but, we just have to once you know better, you just gotta do better, and I know that's what everybody in this community is trying because we all always I talk about it in chat and try to, guide and lift each other up to just keep doing the right thing as we learn all these things we've been lied to about, you know?
Absolutely,
Um,
and doing the natural sugars is way better, honestly. Like,
yes.
I love my fruits. I love
Yeah, oh
natural
gosh.
raw honey. Like, you can
Mhm.
actually get that sugar taste and that sugar high from natural fruits and natural honey. Like, you can do that.
Yeah.
Just supplement it. Change your diet.
Exactly. And on the View of Truth this last Friday, I would love everybody to go back and watch it. One of the things we talked about was real food. And of course,
Mhm.
God is going to create food for us that is delicious,
Yes.
you know? And
And they
so
try to
fruit,
keep it away from us.
yes, yes. And
Mhm.
and it's just delicious and you can pick it and you can eat it and the seeds are really good for you too and all that stuff. Man,
Yeah.
I can't wait till we start to really get into
I
all of
know,
that.
me too. And BB talks about it too. Like, I love BB. She'll send me some stuff and articles and stuff like that, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to try that. If that's what it does, let me try it." Like, what's
Right,
it gonna hurt? You're not gonna like the taste of it? Okay, well, then don't do it
right.
again.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we're headed there. It's just going to be what comes first, what comes
Mhm.
next to get people's attention. But I do have a feeling though, and I know you probably feel this way too, and everybody in the chat. Once this snowball starts going, then people will be able to go from health to education to nutrition, just like we're doing.
Right.
You know, we're hitting it all ourselves, and that it will come with everybody else, for sure. But we just had to have a little bit of a head start to kind of,
Yeah.
get the ball rolling
Well, I mean, it
for
starts
sure.
with a few of us, and then people see what we're doing. It's like a chain of reaction. Your
Yes,
friends see you doing it, and then guess what? They're like, "Well, what are you doing that maybe I could do?" And it starts
exactly.
like that, and that's why we're ahead of the game, and we're here
Yes,
to be that beacon of light to show them the way.
exactly. God, pretty good at planning this stuff, isn't he?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, he really does.
All right, lady. So now, once I got that text from you, a couple weeks ago, I just looked at my phone and I got this text and it was Barb and it said, "I'm ready to tell my story." And I'm like, "Wow,
Yeah,
great."
yeah,
And I thought, gosh, good for her, just to have that thought and that feeling and reaching out and I think it's wonderful. And you're in such a group of people that all love you so
yes,
much and they know if something that you say sparks within them to share with other people that they know. I mean, it's just something that's just like a ripple in the lake. It's just
in the
going to
water,
continue to
in the
go
ocean.
in the water. Yes, all of it. So let's start back just like to when you were a kid. I don't even think I know where you were born or where you grew up or anything like that.
I was born in Philadelphia. This is so weird. Me and my mom were actually born in the same hospital,
Oh.
St. Andrews, and this is even weirder. I was born 4 doors down from where she was born. How weird
Oh,
is that?
no way.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So me and my mom were born in the same hospital in Philadelphia, and I was born 4 doors down from her. Yeah,
that's so sweet.
yeah.
And so are you I know this, but so you have siblings.
Yes,
One?
I have a brother, one little
Yeah,
brother,
and he's a little brother. And how much younger is he?
5 years younger than me.
Okay. And so how was as a child growing up? Was it just your mom? Was it your mom and dad? And what was it?
Okay, so my dad is an ex-Navy man. So we moved around a lot. When I was born in Philadelphia, but we moved or mom and dad lived in Staten Island, New York. When I guess I was maybe 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old, my dad got stationed in Japan. So me and my mom followed him, and that's where my brother was born. My brother was actually born in Japan. So
Wow.
when he was 18, he actually got to choose if he wanted to have, all new United States citizenship or dual citizenship. So
Wow.
he didn't think he was gonna go back to Japan, so he decided to, just be US citizenship.
Mhm.
But that was really cool. So I went to school there in Japan for 6 years. That was or not 6 years, about, since I was like 2 or 3, so it was like maybe 4. Yeah, because dad was there for 4 years. So it was 4 years in school there. Um, I learned fluent Japanese. I was literally my mom's translator when we went to the markets because she didn't speak any of it. And since I was in school and you're young, you pick that
Yeah,
stuff
pick
up
it up.
really quick. So I was her
Right.
little translator. Dad got stationed back to Staten Island. So we came back to Staten Island and I started American school, a US school, and it,
Hmm.
it was a little hard for me because
I
I
bet.
was never in an American school. It was
Yeah.
Japanese school. And my mom told me a little story. She's like, "You kind of messed with the principal a little bit. You spoke in Japanese instead of English, Barbara Jean." And they held me back a grade. So I was held back a grade. Um, and it
Wow.
was just, yeah, and it was wild. Like I was in so-called Catholic school, like my mom was a Catholic, so she was like, "Oh, I don't like these public schools, so we're gonna put you in a private school." So that's what she did. She put me in a private school. Went there for quite a few years. Then we moved down to South Carolina, Goose Creek, South Carolina, and I lived there for about I want to say it was like early 90s, 1990s, early 1990s. We went down there. Stayed there for quite a few years. My dad then retired, and when he retired, we had family up here in North Carolina. So he was like, "Well, let's go up to North Carolina." And my mom was like, "Okay, just don't take me in the country." Well, what does he do? He takes her to the country. So I lived in Lincoln, North Carolina after dad retired, and I stayed there for a long, long time. My dad actually is still there, not in the same place, but he's still in Lincoln County.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, yeah. So we've stayed there. My brother's still there. I'm in Charlotte. It's about a 45-minute to an hour drive from each other, but they're still there. My brother has a beautiful son, my little nephew, Georgie, the fourth. So he's the fourth. So yeah, that's where I landed. It
Uh,
was in Lincoln, North
yeah.
Carolina.
Wow. And
Yeah.
so as a child, were things pretty calm for you? Were they stressful? I mean, how was life as a kid there?
Honestly, like, as a military child, we moved every 4 to 5 years, so I never really got to anchor root into anything. I never really had a long-time friend until I moved to North Carolina, and when we moved to North Carolina and being entered into the school system and staying at the school systems for till I was in high school, I made quite a few friends, and I mean, that was different for me. But it also put me into a little wild child because as a military child, your parent is strict in the military way.
Yes,
So you
absolutely.
lived your life in a different way. And then when I hit my teens is when all craziness went happen because I was like, "Oh, well, I'm a teenager now. I could do whatever I want." And I went wild
Mhm.
child, like sneaking out, doing stuff behind my parents' backs, like stuff like that. And I mean, it was stressful for my parents,
Mhm.
being the oldest daughter, the only daughter. Like when you have a
Mhm.
daughter, you get quite concerned about her.
Of course.
So yeah, I was a little wild. I was a little wild child.
Mhm. I could see that.
Yeah.
And so that was in high school. So you graduate high school?
I actually I actually took myself out of high school. In Lincoln County, so to speak, they don't really care. Like, quote unquote, don't really care. So when I want to say about 16, 17 years old, I got my transcripts and I dipped. And
Wow.
I left school. My mom, she lost it when she found out because I moved out of my house. I literally was like, "Well, I'm leaving." And I packed my bags and I went and moved in with a friend. I mean,
Wow.
no parents, no nothing. It was an older friend because at that time I grew up around older kids because being a military child, your brain is a little bit above everybody else's
Mhm.
in your age range. So I hung out with a lot of the older kids. And so when I moved out, I moved in with one of my older friends and his girlfriend, and I just slept on the couch and did whatever I wanted. And it was a wrong decision. I will say that. It was a very wrong decision. But at that time, I did whatever I wanted. I didn't care. That's when the drinking started. Um, and small doses of smoking pot, and the pills didn't come into later, which is so a different story. But I started being that really wild child, out of control child. Um, After that, I realized this isn't where I need to be. Then I ended up, mom said, come back home.
Yeah, I
So
bet.
I came back home. I lived with my parents for a good while. And then around, I want to say 19, I moved back out again. And I moved in with a girlfriend that I was with for 17, or no, 6 years. Wow, 17 wanted to pop in there. For
Yeah,
6 years, I
right.
I know. 6 years I lived with her, and that's when the heavy alcohol abuse, the heavy doing smoking pot every day from morning to night. She introduced me to pills, um,
What
which was
like
bad.
what kind of pills, and why do you think that being in that environment is what perpetuated that? And
I
being
I
around her? I mean,
I think being around her, I thought I was being loved by somebody, and I guess her way of showing love was, well, we'll get fucked up. Excuse my language. We'll get messed up. So she started me on Xanaxes and then pain pills. And then I did do some ecstasy at times because I mean, at that time she was like, "Oh, it's not gonna hurt you. It's gonna be fine. You'll be fine." So it was a very bad spot to be in. That relationship, friendship kinda soured a lot. So I ended up leaving that situation and moving back home again. So I
mhm,
moved back home about 3 times,
mhm.
during my teenage 20s. So yeah, it was a wild time for me.
I mean, it sounds like the girl that you were living with there almost was like a handler, almost was like,
It was
grooming
tou
you,
it
kind of.
was it was yes, because at that time, my mom was like, "Barbara Jean, this is not you. This is not who you are. Like, I didn't raise you this way. You're not supposed to be with this woman. You're not supposed to be with a girl. You're supposed to be with a man." And when I talked to my mom, I would fight with her. "No, mom, you're wrong. You're wrong. She loves me. Da 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 da." Like, it was all that. And as it kept going and the bad stuff kept going, I was like, "You know what? Maybe mom's right. Maybe mom's right." So that's when I decided, "You know what? I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna go to mom. I'm gonna have mom take care of me and re kind of reboot me, so to
Yeah.
speak." And she did. She really, really did. And I didn't stop the drinking and I didn't stop the pot, but I did back away from the pills and the partying and all that stuff because I still hung out with the same friends we had.
Okay.
Because I didn't let that go. And I should have. I should have stayed away from those friends, but in a way it was a learning experience because mom was right there. She was right there. "Barbara Jean, this person's not good for you. Come on, get out of that." Then I ended up with a really, really good friend of mine that kept my mind busy on good things. We would go out. We would um, go shopping together. We would go at this time. I was a tomboy, so we would go to her brother's house and we would go like watch him go dirt biking. I would get on the four-wheelers with them, like just keep me away from that kind of stuff. But I
Mhm.
still, at that time, I still had a drinking problem. My dad was an alcoholic, so it ran in my family. That was the one thing that stayed consistent with me, and the smoking pot. Like those 2 things were the biggest staying consistent. The pills and everything like that faded. I mean, they slowly just faded away.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so your mom, I mean, I we're going to talk a lot about your mom,
Mm.
but you know, there's nothing, you know, when you're a mom, your children can take you on such roller coaster rides, right?
Mhm.
And you know, and you're a mom forever. And so, you know, I know I'm sure she just anguished and was just so happy when you came back.
Oh, she
And
was.
you know, and so when you were with this other fella that was the dirt bike guy, right? Um,
He was a friend, he was my best friend at the time, my best friend's brother, and he was amazing. Like, he helped me get away from that stuff by keeping my mind busy. And him and his sister both, they both did the best they could to keep me on that narrow path as much as I could, but it was still we still drank at night, we still smoked pot at night, like, but I didn't get into trouble because I was getting it myself into deep trouble. Like, I wasn't healthy. I was eating better with them and stuff like that. So having them do that for me was a stepping stone to getting away from certain things, because it
right.
literally was it was a challenge being a part of something like that and having all those things in your life and then slowly taking it away.
Yes, and so, I mean, you're just so young, and so, I mean, everybody who's young, you're impressive with things, you know, and impressionable
Mhm.
people and people. I mean, it's and you have this struggle as a youngster. You know, your mom and these people are pulling you, and you know, and it's just it's hard.
Yeah.
And for a while, normally the friends are the is what takes you for a while, you
Yep.
know, is what happens.
'Cause
So
mom and dad don't know no better, my friends
that's
do.
right. Exactly. My
Yep.
friends know better. I have to just hold your thought, and I'm going to ask you a question. But I just got this um, from
Oh.
from Trish. So it is broken. She said it
Oh,
is broken. Can you see that?
yes.
And
She
she
looks
said
so
that
sad.
I know. And she says pray for no surgery.
Yes,
So
definitely. Oh, and I love her hat that she, she wore that at the
yeah,
hospital, I love it.
oh my God, is that the Q hat? I can't tell.
It's the
Is it?
Ghost Army hat, yeah.
Oh, it's the ghost army hat. OMG at the hospital. That's
That
hilarious.
is hilarious. I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're praying for you. We love you,
Yes.
Trisha, and just take care of yourself. Well, your nails look pretty.
Yep.
I
Right,
can see
right.
your nails. So after that, so then what direction at that point then, what direction did you decide to go after that?
Well, when I was with my mom, I started getting into the local music scene. I started liking local bands because my friend, my best friend at the time, she would take me out to local bands to check out some music, because that's one thing that we loved together is like music. Music was our thing. Um, so we would go out to local bars and check out local music. And during that time, I was like, "Oh, this is so cool! Like, how can I get involved to be like a part of this? Not as a groupie, but how can I be
Mhm.
a part of this and be helpful?" I turned and I was like, "You know what? Why can't I promote these bands? Why can't I help promote these bands?" So I learned how to do graphics on the computer. I learned how to do like getting online. It was MySpace at the time. So I was like, "Oh, I could really do this. Like, this could be actually fun for me." So I
Mhm.
got into that, and it was just like it still had a little bit of my addiction, the weed and the drinking. It still had that involved, but the biggest part was the music. The music
Mhm.
was drawing me in, and I'm like, "Oh, I really wanna become a promoter." So I talked to a friend that was local, and she was a local promoter for years, and I was like, "How can I get into this?" So she showed me how to get into it and how to help bands and stuff like that. So I was like, "Oh, this is let me do this." So I started
Mhm.
doing that, and it was really fun. And that's where I met Paul.
Really?
Yeah. Paul was in one of the bands that I ended up falling in love with because of their music, and I was like, "Oh, oh, who's that drummer? Like,
Ah.
he's cute. Like, and I mean, it kind of like it led the way to us. Like, I don't know how to say it, but we were at a show that me and my friend were promoting together because we decided, hey, well, let's work on this one show together. And so we did, and it was her birthday show. So we worked on it together, and his band played that night. And I was shy. Go figure. You think me shy? Huh. Right. Well, we were sitting outside in her friend's car and we were drinking, and at the time Paul was a drinker too, and his beer was in the car, and I see this big guy coming walking towards us, and I'm like, who is this? Like, he's cute, but who is this? And he gets in the back seat with us, or with me, and I'm like, hi, I'm Barb, and he's like, hi, I'm Paul. And we talked for a little bit in the back seat of the car, and had a beer and everything like that, and then it was time for him to go in and start playing his part of the gig. And so we all got out the car, walked to the door, got in, and come to find out, the chick that was throwing it with me was way too wasted to come in. So my best friend at the time was like, all right, I'm going to take her home. You two go in, do the show, and I'll be right back. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know this dude, but okay. But I felt comfortable. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel,
Mhm.
I just felt awkward because it was somebody I didn't know. And
Right.
so we get in there, and I was like, oh man, I really would love to have a beer. And he looks dead at me and he goes, I'll get you a beer for a kiss. And I was like, is it that easy? Because I left my money with her because I didn't carry a purse at the time. So I gave her everything. And I was like, are you serious? Like, a kiss for a beer? Oh, okay. And that's how it started. That's how it all started. A beer for a kiss.
Oh,
Yeah.
it must have been a pretty good kiss.
It
For
was. It was a genuinely sweet kiss, like, it was adorable. We were both nervous, and I had just gotten out of a relationship. He had just gotten out of a relationship, so it was like, "Oh, okay, let's talk. Let's keep talking after this." So we did. We kept
Mhm.
talking after this, exchanged numbers, and it just led to a really nice, cool start of a relationship. I mean, look at us now, 20 years later. This was 20
Yeah,
years, 20 years
that's
ago.
crazy. So
Yeah.
what did your good old mom think of Paul?
At first, she didn't meet him right away. Um, Actually, my mom really didn't meet him maybe once or twice. And then, like, 3 I wanna say 3 months after we started dating, I ended up moving in with him because me and my dad, clashed a lot. We had gotten into a fight, and while I was on the phone with Paul, and Paul was like, "Mm-mm, mm-mm, this ain't happening. You're getting out of there." So the next morning, he came with a couple of friends, and we packed the car, and I was gone, and I haven't been back
Wow.
since.
Wow.
Yep.
And so that time when you guys started is as we've all gotten to know you and know how wonderful and kind you are. And I just have to uh, you, I don't want to lose this. Snack Cakes 802 just gave five subscription snack cakes.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
so much for
you.
doing that. That was so nice. So, you two are such genuinely good people, but it sounds like you started the relationship in a toxic environment,
Very.
being in nightclubs and being with all that. So that's how you kind of started. And so did that continue?
The music scene, yeah, we stayed in it, for quite a while. The people we were around was not they weren't good. The music scene around here was really toxic. People hated each other, they gossiped about each other, they backstabbed each other. when Paul and I first got together, everybody's like, "Oh, you two aren't going to last. Y'all aren't going to last. I don't see you guys lasting maybe a couple of years." And lo and behold, those are the ones that their relationship didn't last, and they're still in the
Uh-huh.
music scene and still doing the same things that we used to
Wow.
do. Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wow. And so you obviously, and I want you to take us through it. You obviously had to go through it and come to a breaking point. So so you moved in with him, you were still in that environment with those different people that were toxic. So how did that progress?
It it did progress into, like, very toxic. We did separate for a little bit, because of the
This bef-
toxicity.
so was this before you got married?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So it was like we how do I explain this? We didn't separate, we were still living together, but we were, like, more like roommates. Like,
Mm,
it to be honest, it was literally like roommates. Um,
mhm,
we got married, we were still in the music scene, and that it how do I wanna, like, put this? Because it was so toxic. Like, he went his way, I went into the modeling scene. We weren't The toxicity of the drugs and the alcohol separated us for a while, and he went his way with the music, I went my way with the modeling. The modeling actually was my way of saying, "I need more attention." Um,
mhm,
and then the modeling scene, just I realized that was even more toxic than the music scene. Um, at the time, we started working on ourselves, and I was like, "You know what? This modeling isn't for me." And his band had broken up, and it was like, "All right, well, what do we do? We're both not doing the same thing that we were doing to fill those emptiness," if you wanna say
mhm,
that. So we ended up working on ourselves together. A couple years of that, of trying to work and fix it and everything like that. Um, it just I think it brought us closer together, and then we ended up really fixing ourselves when we went down to Florida for the very first time together and actually gave ourselves a real honeymoon, because we never
mhm,
actually did that. We never gave ourselves a honeymoon. Um, and when we gave ourselves a honeymoon, that's when it literally clicked. We were like,
mhm,
"Oh, this is what it's about to be together." I mean, we still drank, we still smoked pot, but the drinking was way, way less. When we went down to Florida, it literally was no we didn't drink. We weren't drinking at that time because we had gotten into a one really last fight, and it was like, "You know what? This is gonna ruin us. So at least cut out the drinking." So we cut it out. We were like, "This is done. The drinking is done." We still smoked pot. It was
mhm,
numbing stuff and everything like that. So we
mhm.
kept smoking the pot, but the drinking was gone. Like, we didn't need that no more. We have each other. We don't need alcohol. So when we were down there in Florida for the first time, it was beautiful. Like, we finally bonded the way we needed to bond, and then we started working on finding God, because we knew that God put us here for a reason. Like, he literally put us here for a reason. Like, between then, it was that I lost my grandmother, my mom, we lost the house, stuff like that, and it was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I want you to take me back to all of that because, it's just fascinating to think about. So you were with these other groups that had relationships and none of them made it because they could not get themselves out of that toxic
yeah,
environment. And it's so addictive as well, obviously,
it
and
really is.
it's amazing, normally one is strong, but then the other one falls back. And so it's this it's hard because that's what happens to most couples. They're not on the same place or willing
Right.
to be. And so you two went through some turmoil, of getting away from each other, coming back, getting away from each other. So obviously, what you had is and have is the real deal to be
Mhm.
able to weather all those storms. And so when at that time too, he's got stories to tell. Did he, when you were first together, to tell you about getting robbed at gunpoint
Yep.
and, the broken legs and the surgery and all these different other things that he had to deal with? Was that part of his story telling you?
Yeah, well, me that broken leg was me, like, he almost lost his leg to a spider bite, at a young
That's
age, and
right.
then
That's
when we
right.
were together when we were together, I broke my leg, pretty badly, as a matter of fact. I broke my tib fib, and it literally shattered. The doctor doctor came to him, and he was like, dude, when I opened her leg, it looked like a landmine went off in her leg." Like, I was picking fragments of bone
How
out of
did
her
that
leg.
how did that happen?
We were working at Carrabba's together, and I was a hostess, and I was there to pick him up and pick up my check at the same time, and I had walked back to the office, and somebody had moved the non-slick mats, and
Oh,
when I came
no.
back, yeah, when I was coming back from the office, I slipped on the wet floor and literally just my foot was out to the my leg was literally out to the side. It looked like another joint, like literally in my it was nasty. And the lady that saw me fall, she's like, "You almost hit the counter with the bread cutter." Um,
Oh,
that was right there. She's like, "Thank God you didn't." And I literally almost tried to like I didn't feel it. So I tried to get up and she's like, "No, no, 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 don't you get up." And all Paul could hear was a blood curdling scream. And he
oh,
knew right away that he for some reason he knew it was me. Like,
yeah.
he heard that scream and he come running from the front line and came running to me and he was like, "What the
Oh,
happened?"
no.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So that happened, and I'm recovering from that for, like, 6 months to a year because 6 months I was in a cast, I had the surgery and everything like that, and then half that year, I had to learn how to walk again because I
my
didn't
gosh.
on that leg, I lost my muscle mass, everything like that because of being laid up. So that whole year was that was rough. That was
I
rough.
bet. Yes, I bet. So was that after you had finished the modeling? Was that after that?
No, that was actually before I did the modeling because I think what led me into that was I had gained a lot of weight during that process because you can't get up, be active, you can't do stuff. So I
Yeah.
gained I was almost 200 pounds.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah, because all I could do was lay in bed and just eat and watch
Right.
TV. I couldn't get
Yeah.
up. He had to help me to the bathroom. Him and his mom and his dad literally had work schedules around me to take care of me because I couldn't do
Wow.
anything. And I felt
Wow.
bad because I was like, here they are taking care of me and they're having to change their work schedule around me. Like,
Right.
what do you feel like? Like you go into a little depression and you're like,
Of course.
what do I do? How do I thank them for this after all this? You know?
Right. The irony was you did.
I feel like it made our family situation a lot closer because we all had to
Absolutely.
come together for one little slip up, so to speak.
Yes. Yes. So exactly, but that it leads to so many other things. That's what's amazing about everybody's story. And your story was you had that, they took care of you, and then down the line, of course, you take care of them. So
Mhm.
at that time, all those times, tell me about your mom and dad. Did they stay together even though he was, I guess a functioning alcoholic? I mean, did they just were they always together?
My mom and dad stayed together because my mom was Catholic. She didn't believe in divorce. So
Mhm.
she was like, "Well, we'll figure it out." That was my mom. She prayed to God, "We'll figure it out." And that's where I got my I wasn't so in like I wasn't into the Bible. My mom took me to church, stuff like that. But I always God help me. God help me. God show me the way. God, please show me the way. So I was always asking God for help. He never left me. I left him. If that makes sense. Like
Of course.
I always, even during mine and Paul's hard times, I was like, God help me. God help me. God help us. God help him. Like I was always asking God for help. Always. Like he helped me through a lot and I didn't realize it.
I know. How great is that?
Mhm.
And so during that time then with your mom, so you maintained a good relationship with her and
I did.
um
I kept calling her every day. Um, it was difficult to be away from my mom because me and my mom had a really special bond, and I also feel sometimes at some points my dad kind of put a block in our relationship sometimes. Like he didn't fully tell me about her health. She wouldn't tell me about her health because he didn't want her to tell me because for some ungodly reason he was like, no, she doesn't need to know. This is this is our issue. She doesn't need to know. So that's why I didn't know my mom's health was getting so bad when it was. It was
what was
because
happening? What was happening with her?
my mom, she was a very overweight woman, almost 500 pounds, because she didn't do activities. She was a real estate secretary lady. She sat at a desk all the time. When she retired from that, all she did was sit in front of a computer. Didn't really make many friends. So she gained the weight and she already had a heart issue. So it kind of hindered into her heart issue, and that's what ended up taking her life.
Hmm. And so tell me about, so that happened just before the house fire. So
Mhm.
tell me about that leading up to that with her and your grandmother.
My my grandmother lived in Jersey. She was a very spiritual woman too. Um, we never really got to see her once we moved down here because it was difficult for us to travel all the way up to Jersey. We would visit maybe once every 3 years, I would say, if that. Sometimes it was more years apart than what we wanted. But her and her mom had a relationship. It wasn't the greatest because my aunt was living with her, and my aunt caused a lot of trouble, a lot of trouble. And my mom being my mom, she didn't want to hear it because it hurt her. She hurt
Sure.
for hearing her mom going through this. So I was close to my grandmother, but not as close to my grandmother as I probably should have been. A week
Hmm.
before my mom passes away, literally a week before my mom passes away, she passed away.
Hmm.
And that was hard. Losing two women that I looked up to, excuse me,
Yeah. No,
within a week.
okay.
And losing my mom was the hardest thing. Losing my grandmother, I took it. I was like, okay, she's gone. She's with Pop Pop. It's okay. I never got to meet my grandfather. Um, but I had a lot of stories, a lot of pictures. He was a beautiful man. Um, but yeah, losing my mom was the hardest thing. Paul can tell you that it took a depression for a little bit because
Hmm.
the bond that I had with her. Sorry.
That's
Talking
okay.
about
So
my
were you,
mom is a
of course,
touchy subject.
we we all get it because we definitely all have moms, so we get it for sure. And so was she at a place, did you see her before she passed? Were you able to?
I did. The day the day that she left this earthly world to be with our father, I went to
Yes.
the hospital because my dad told me, he was like, mom's in the hospital. I was like, oh gosh, okay. Normally when she would go to the hospital, she'd be going home a day or two later. And he was like, no, Barb, this isn't that time. And I was like, oh no, where are you at? They were here in Charlotte. That's when I knew it was really, really, really bad because it was normally they were in Lincoln County and she'd be home. Um, but when I knew that she was in Charlotte, I looked at Paul and I was like, it's not good. So Paul and I went to the hospital, and we went to a room, and bless his heart, he was like, you need to go in there alone. Because my brother and my father at the time, I guess they were down in the cafeteria and stuff like that. I needed that alone time with my mom.
Yes.
And I went in the room, I held her hand, told her I was sorry for everything that I did in my past, all the things that I did to hurt her. I didn't mean, I was just a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt her squeeze my hand, and that let me know that she heard everything I said. And I even have a picture of me holding her hand because that was special to me. And
Yes.
I went out into the hall, and I just grabbed Paul. I
Yeah.
grabbed him and I said, Paul, it's not good. And I think I'm going to lose her. And he just held me so tight. And I felt so safe in his arms during that time. My dad ended up coming back, and my brother was with him. And me and my brother's relationship was not good because he saw what I did to my mom and my dad as a teenager. He still holds it against me to this day. That's why we don't really see each other. But I looked at my dad and I said, she squeezed my hand. And he just nodded his head. And I gave my dad a hug. And I said, I got to go. I can't sit here.
Right.
So Paul and I go home. And he looks at me and he goes, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go to jujitsu. I need to go to jujitsu. I need to get this out. I need to take out aggression, so to speak, aggression, but it was hurt. It was pain. And I just needed to be around other people that I felt could help me through this. So we go to we get ready for jujitsu, and I get a call from my dad right before we leave. And he's like, Barbara Jean, you might want to come up here. We're about to let your mom go. I was like, I can't. I looked at Paul and I was like, I mouthed it to him. I was like, I can't do that. I can't watch them take my mom, because that's what it felt like. I can't watch them take her. And he looked at me and he goes, we'll go to jujitsu. We'll go to jujitsu. And I was like, that's where I need to be. So we get in the truck. We start going to jujitsu. And on the way to jujitsu, because my mom and I have this connection, it was weird. I look at him, then I looked at the road, and then all of a sudden I went, just like that. And then I looked at him and I said, she's gone. And he grabbed my hand, because I drive with one hand, and he grabbed my hand and he says, I love you, babe. And I said, I love you too. And we get to jujitsu, and I tell everybody, I just lost my mom on the way here. And they were like, Barb, you don't need to be here. I was like, no, I need to be here. My mom would want me to be here. So I started rolling, and I started rolling with Paul. The emotions started coming. Then I started rolling with our professor. More emotions started coming. Then I rolled with another friend, and more came. And then I rolled with one more friend of ours, and I just broke. Like during the roll, I just started crying, started bawling, and they just held me. Our friend just held me, and her name was Diaz. She just held me. She's like, Barb, it's okay. Your mom knows that you love her. It's okay. We're here for you. And that's what really made me turn more towards God even more, because losing her, she kind of was my connection to God, so to speak. Having her say prayers for me all the time, because she always like, Barbara Jean, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. And then when I lose my mom, it was like, okay, I need to get closer to him. I need to get closer to him. So I leaned into him a little bit more. And then a month later, we lose the house. And I leaned even more into him. And I was like, all right, Lord, and mom, because I knew mom was up there. I was like, all right, guys, I really need your strength right now. I need to help this family. I need to be the strength in this family. And I believe that those two are what kept me strong. And I didn't mentally break down because I knew this family needed me. My mom was always telling me, Barb, you're the strong one. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You take care of everybody else before you take care of yourself. So that's what I did. I took care of this family, and I took the responsibility of, all right, what can I do to help this family get through this? We need to find a house. We need to find storage. We need to do this. I need to go clean the house. I need to find the valuable things that everybody needs that means something to them. And I did. It was literally, I grabbed only the things that meant something to each of them. And I don't know how I did it, but I did it. Like, it was God saying, you've got this. You can do this. I made you strong for a reason. I put you through all that trouble just so you could be strong for this moment in time. So that's what made me be like, you know what? I got this. I can take care of this family. I can help this family. And it also brought all of us closer together, which was amazing because, during a time like that, people just, your friends aren't there for you. You have to lean into that family. So that brought our family even closer, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, Barb, that's that first of all, that was a beautiful, beautiful story. And it's so clear to all of us who are listening and watching that your grandmother and your mother were so, and that had to happen, that they gave you that most incredible strength and divinity of strength and goodness and love, and they were there with you more than they could have ever been here. And it's amazing what happens when you feel that force from the other side when they're home. They all talk about that going home and being their real soulful selves.
Yep.
And it had to have been so miraculous that if people can go back and listen to my interview with Paul, part 2 in my interview, he really goes into it, and his convictions were so, he I've said this before, he had to stop me in my tracks talking about the fire because I said you were so strong, and he said I got to stop you there, because it was all Barb and helping with that and helping with my mother. And now the puzzle pieces are coming together, Barb, because now I can see how that happened. But they had to help you with your broken leg first.
Yeah. I
And,
had to gain strength from that because, being in
yes,
a deep depression, you got to keep your
right.
your shit together.
Yeah.
So it honestly, like, after losing my mom, my bond with Paul's mom got even stronger.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like, I lost my mom, but I also had gained a mom, even though I always
Yeah.
called her mom. Like, I never not called Carol mom. Like, I never not. But when I lost my mom, she became my mom, and she helped
Mhm.
me through a lot of things. So the
Mhm.
bond between me and her got really, really strong, and I'm thankful
Mhm.
for that.
And, when she passed, you were a huge part of that. And the fact that you describe it as Paul putting his arms around you at the hospital with your mom, and you felt he was so strong.
Mhm.
And you had to give that back.
I
Something
did.
in you said you had.
I
Yeah,
did.
go ahead.
When this one's a kicker too for me because obviously I got close to Carol, and the night that it happened, all I could do was hold her, literally hold
Mm-hmm.
her. Like I did a complete jujitsu, a complete jujitsu hold. Like my legs were around her waist. We were sitting on the bed. My legs were around her waist. My arms were around her, and it was like I can't let her go. I can't let her fall off this bed. So that being there for them and being able to hold her up so Paul and dad, Paul's dad,
Right.
could in a way say their goodbyes, but I'm holding
Yes.
her like, and I felt her. It's so weird because I haven't thought about it in so long, but I felt her
Mm-hmm.
go, and it was a hard time, but I ended up having to be that strong person again for them
Mm-hmm.
too. Like he was
Right.
there for me for my mom,
Right.
and it was that was another boom. All right, God, you're here. We see it. We see that you're here with us. You're making me strong again for another reason. And like Paul said, he kind of knew it wasn't the same as last. It was, she's not coming back this time. And that was the
Um,
hard part because her diabetes put her in and out of hospital and stuff like that. So it was hard on him. It was really hard on
mhm.
him, and me being there was special because I got that from him when my mom passed away.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing though. It's so prophetic to have this on Valentine's Day
Mm,
because it's such a heartful and felt story. I mean, there is just this is such a wonderful testimony to you and to Paul and to your families and I mean this is the perfect story for Valentine's Day. That's what it's all
mhm.
about.
And God was there
So,
the whole time. I
of
tell you what, I
course,
could I
yes.
could feel him. I definitely could feel him. Like I
Yeah,
and at that time we weren't really like studying the Bible. We weren't doing that kind of stuff, but we were on our journey to finding God in a whole
right.
different level.
Yes. And that's too, I just have to harken back to this because you were given the knowledge and the strength without you even knowing it because I saw it in Paul's face on that second interview I did with him. He was like, she had this conviction. And then he said, Ellen, she kept telling me, you know, I have faith. We have faith. We can do this. I have faith. I have faith. We can do this. And so, without you even really diving into it as much as you've been diving into it lately, you had that raw, real feeling
Yeah.
that the help was brought on from your with your mom, being with you and showing you God and showing you your faith and showing your convictions and your strength. I mean, that's incredibly beautiful and that's why I love his interview because it's just he was so in his conviction of that moment of those moments with you is just it's just wonderful. So after that, all those things happened. You um did things calm down a little bit, once because I know that it took a while for Paul's dad to finally feel lighter. It took quite some time, but how and so you all were still coping and you all were still, trying to self-soothe and each other and yourselves and how did things go from there?
Like we started praying a lot more because of his mom, and he we every day now, every day since her death, we do not miss a day of not praying. We pray every day together. Um, that's what started our complete, we're going to Jesus. We're going to God, boy. He's put us through so much and he's helped us and gotten us to where we are because he does want us as his children.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
we started leaning into it a lot more, a lot more. So it gradually everything started like slowly just Oh, okay. Okay. Paul's dad is starting to understand that, she's gone, but he's here and we're going to
Right.
take care of you now. Don't worry about a
Yeah.
thing. So Paul and I started taking the responsibility of, we get to take care of dad. And a lot of kids don't say that like as in a good thing, but for us, it was like they took care of us during all that hard time. They still both of our parents still took care of us during that hard time. Like it's our time to take care of Paul's dad.
Yes.
And
Right.
during this time, I found out that my dad had cancer. Now, I'm not close. So my brother took on the responsibility of taking care of my father because they only live, I want to say 10 to 15 minutes away from each other in
Mhm.
Lincoln. So my brother took on that responsibility and I'm okay with that. I still go visit my
Mhm.
dad. I still talk to him on text message. We can't talk on the phone because the cancer that he had took his vocals. And now he has like, you see right here where your
The voice
throat
box.
is, he doesn't even have that. He
Yeah.
doesn't they took so much and made the hole so big that they can't even put a trach there to where he could hold it and have a
Wow.
conversation. So he has to literally have one of those little handheld boxes and put it
Mhm.
right up here, and he sounds like
Yeah.
I hate
A
saying
robot.
this. Yes, he sounds like
Yep.
a robot, so it's
My
hard
uncle,
for
it was
him
the
to
same.
talk.
I know
So
that. My uncle had the same thing. Exactly. Yes.
So we text. Me and my dad text. It's not every day, but it's quite a few times during the week we talk. So I still talk to him. I still keep in touch with him. I still make sure, hey, you good? Do you need anything? Like this week, I'm gonna go see him and check in on him. But it's a good feeling to be able to take care of somebody that took care of you during all those bad and hard times, like Paul's dad. Like, I feel blessed to take care of his dad. I really
Yes.
do.
Yeah. I bet you do. No, that's wonderful actually. And while we're at a spot here, I just have to thank MedExam. Um, gosh, holy smokes, Chase. You gave $50 for two of my absolute favorite truth warriors, Barb and Ellen. What a
Oh, man, thank
generous
you.
soul. I mean, she's just such a, my goodness,
She's a
Chase. We
very,
love you.
very
Thank you.
special person.
So
Trust me,
special.
she's a very special person, and I'm so happy that I got to meet her in person.
Yes, I know. I haven't yet, but my gosh, the whole family there in the chat and this whole little part of the our part of the internet is just so loving. And I
Yes.
think um you remember talking to DeShera on The View of Truth. I don't think it was even on the air, but she said, "Oh my God, the chat people are so nice." And we're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we
Yeah.
know."
We know.
We
Yeah,
know.
she was
They're just
shocked. She was really
she
shocked
was
because
shocked.
I don't think she was expecting that when we started that show. Like,
No.
I don't think she was expecting how big our chat family
Yeah.
is and how loving our chat family is.
Yeah. I so to us, I think now we just feel it and we love it and it's like a family, but when
Mhm.
people come in from the outside, it is like, "What?" You
Mhm.
know?
Right,
So
right.
so so I want to get to closer to where you are now. So you continued on this journey and and you two, I really admire both of you because you started step by step and the drinking, and then you started this journey of not smoking the pot anymore. And would you say that because it was just such a habit, was that really hard to do?
Um, so let me go to the baptism. I think the baptism
Oh,
is what
okay.
really set the path of where we are right now. So we go down to Florida Clearwater, and at first when we were going to do it, we were going to do it up here and we were going to do it in Myrtle Beach, close to Magadai. But the pastor that we asked to do it, he ended up having to do a trip out of country. So we were like, oh gosh darn. So Paul posted up on the internet on X and said, well, guys, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. The pastor that we asked to do it had to go on a missionary thing. So he went and checked that profile, and lo and behold, Mr. Greenbeard
Yay.
decided, hey guys, I could do it for you. And we were like,
Aw.
really? Like, we were just going to do the renewals. And at first it was like, let's add the baptism, because both of us have come this far and God's been a part of our life. It's time now that we're adults and we chose to do this. Let's get baptized. So Greenbeard was like, I can do this for you guys. The only thing
Yeah.
is, you got to come down to Clearwater. We were like, what? So we were like, okay. And we talked about it and we talked about it. And we were like, all right, we got to do this. We got to find a way to do this. So we found a way with family and friends. We found a way to get this ball rolling. And Magadai, she was one of the big helps about it. She was actually there for it. So were Mark, Dave, Rambo, my brothers, and Paul's new brothers. And we get down there, and it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. Greenbeard did amazing. He was nervous just as much as we were. But he did beautiful. And we get out there and we do our renewals, because we did the renewals first. Didn't want to get, my dress all wet before. So we decided do the renewals first, and then right after we'll go and do the baptism in the Gulf of America. And so during the renewal, a stingray jumps out of the water, and we actually have a video. One of our friends actually caught a video of it, and it literally jumped right out of the water as we're doing our renewals. And then so that gets done, and now stingrays are a big part of mine and Paul's thing, because when we went down for our honeymoon to Florida the very first time, we went to Discovery Zone and got to swim with the dolphins, got to swim with stingrays and stuff like that. So that, in a way, it was like things were coming full circle.
Exactly.
We started our journey of fixing our marriage in the first trip, and then our trip to do our renewals, here comes a stingray out of the ocean, jumping out. So that happens, and then we look at Greenbeard and we're like, all right, let's go to the water. Here we go. So we go walking down into the ocean, and it was literally half a mile, almost a mile out, because the water just kept going. We kept hitting like the I don't know how to say it, but the ground just kept going up and the water kept going down. Cool. And we were like, okay, when is it to the point that we could get to like be able to dip us in the water? So we get to that point, and when we do get to that point, now Paul's scared of the ocean, okay? So I'm sitting there holding him. Greenfield's like trying to be like, we'll get there soon. We'll get there soon. I promise, Paul. I promise. We'll hit the part where we can do this. So we get to the part where we can do it, and I get done. I get baptized first, and I'm not going to say my experience because that's between me and God. I told Paul, but I had an experience when Greenbeard dunked me, and when that happened, a friend of ours told us that a dolphin jumped out of the water right behind us. And then Paul gets his done. Paul has his experience, and it was just like me, Paul, Greenbeard, the ocean. You couldn't hear anybody from the shore. You could not. And God, like it was just the three of us and our Lord. And the sunset and the sun, the way it was gleaming, it was very spiritual. And I knew right then and there that he had us and he had accepted us. And that's what really made me go, okay, My life is now devoted to him. I love
Mhm.
you, Paul, but my life is devoted to him. He comes first over you. And Paul and I have that agreement. Like he always will come first, but we do love each other.
Mhm.
That's not going to change, but God comes first.
Mhm.
And ever since then, our journey has been amazing. And we realized, all right, the alcohol's gone, the pills are gone. The only thing right now that's holding us back is marijuana.
Mhm.
So Paul and I looked at each other and we talked about it. We were like, all right, we need to quit. We really need to quit. Like after that trip, we came home and we were like, all right, we got to quit. So how are we going to do this? Literally, me and him talked about it. It was literally 40 days to the day that we quit marijuana, from the time we talked about quitting to the time we quit. And
Love that.
he's like, all right, we're doing it. We're doing it. Like we literally, we, uh, we had a deep conversation and a deep, I feel like it was an attack by the dark side. And we looked at each other, we held each other, and we said, all right, God, we're ready. Let's do this. Give us the strength to do this. After we prayed, we literally went into our room and around the house and got rid of everything. I mean, everything, even down to the littlest roach that we had in the ashtray, gone. We were like, this is done. We're done. The devil is not going to have a hold of us no more. No
Yep,
more. And
that's
that's
fantastic.
and that was a month ago. That was a
Yay!
month ago. Here we are sober. We're learning how to live with each other sober because 20 years,
Yes, your
our
yes.
whole life, like we abused it. We totally abused it.
Wow.
We didn't use it the way we should have used it, like for medicinal uses. We
Right,
abused it.
yes.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. We used it night from the time we woke up to the time we went to bed. That's all we did. And
yeah,
that's not a way to live your life.
right,
No. Ew.
right.
And now I'm
Yeah.
like with alcohol, when I quit drinking alcohol, when we went to Mar-a-Lago, there's a lot of wine and everything like that,
Yes,
at
there
the
is.
dinner tables and stuff. Like, it
Mhm.
was starting to make me sick at Mar-a-Lago, and I'm like, "Guys, I gotta step out." Like, Stormy and Paul and Rambo both walked out with me because they knew I did not need to be around that at that time. So I needed a breather. I needed to get some fresh air. And now smelling the
Mhm.
marijuana, it does the same thing. It literally
Excellent.
does the same thing. It makes me sick to my stomach and I cannot.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
God's armor around you, right?
Mhm.
I love
100%.
that so much. And so just one last thing, just because, it's just been part of your story here lately, and then we're not even going to go into it, but there was squabbling and stuff back and forth with people that Paul used to work for and things. And now that you're in a different place, did you look at that squabbling in a different way? Could you deal with it without feeling absorbed by it and just move on with it? Um,
Now, now, honestly, even then I was like, you know what? It's not worth my time. It's
right,
not worth my time. It's not worth my energy. It's not worth my breath. Like
right.
now it's like, whatever. Like, this is who we are now. We're on a different journey. We're
Yeah,
gonna keep going this way. I'm not looking back.
exactly.
I
That's
mean,
right.
it it's like that part in the Bible, like, don't look back. Whatever you do,
Yeah,
don't look back. If you're gonna leave that in the past, leave it in the past. It's
right.
it's it's dust. It's gone. It's not even there anymore.
Yeah. And it's funny, when folks aren't quite at that peaceful place of that divine connection with God, they keep wanting to reel you back in because they're wanting to knock you
Mhm.
down a peg a little bit.
I
And
don't
and
even I don't let it I don't let it. I'm like, "You know
yeah,
what? If anybody brings it up, I'm like, I'll God bless them. I'm done with that. I'm
right.
done. I'm
Exactly.
done."
Yes, exactly. Because you have the eyes now to be able to see that
Mhm.
bigger picture. Um, but we just continue, we've talked about this before. We continue to have to navigate those people. We get together as a family in the chat and everything, and we can be in this place, and then we have to go back and deal with the everyday things of folks and situations. And but I think all of us have been walking this tightrope for so many years now. We've gotten pretty good, and you can tell me the chat if that's the case. We feel pretty, it's easier for us to navigate those worlds more so than it used to be.
Yeah.
um
'Cause back
with that.
then when you're going through stuff like that, even in your normal day life, like, you wanna get involved, you wanna be like, stand your ground, you wanna defend yourself, but it's like, "Wait a minute, I don't have to defend myself. God knows who I am. God knows where I wanna be. God knows where I want to go. Why do I need to fight those battles anymore?"
Right, exactly right. And if we have that in mind, and I didn't used to understand, if we do everything to glorify God, I get it now, because if we do that, then we know we're doing it for the right reasons. And we're doing the honorable, the good thing, and doing our motivations are for the right reasons. And that's
Yep.
all we can do as people and as humans for each other. Well, this has been so wonderful, and um you've got loved ones who are in the higher realm there that are just so proud of you.
I hope so.
And
I really
they,
hope
oh my,
so.
oh,
Especially my
with
mom. I That's the one thing that, I still wonder to this day. Is she proud of where I'm at right now? Like, I
oh
still think that.
my.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you don't have to worry about that. This has been a confirmation for you that for sure, she absolutely, absolutely is very, very proud, and she was there with you, by the way. I wanted just to share this because you showed this to me. So tell me about the difference here, the 15 years.
All right. So, look how chunky we are, man. I have to giggle at that because of how we look now. But that's 15 years ago. That was literally in the dark time. Like, we were literally in, oh, drinking, smoking pot, doing pills every now and then. Like, you could tell.
Yeah,
That was whoo. But like I said, dark to light, not
yeah,
sober, now sober.
right.
All things through
Yes.
Christ, I can do it, man. I can do it.
Absolutely. That's such a wonderful post in it. And absolutely. I mean, that's just so beautiful. And I love that so much. And you two have been through the gamut, man, because
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it till you said that. I mean, you started your relationship in that world, with alcohol and drugs and everything. And for you have never to been in a relationship with him without it, and being
Mhm.
able to get rid of it and stop it. Hats off to you both. That's
Thank you.
incredible, actually.
It feels good.
So
It honestly feels really good. Like, learning it makes me giggle that we're actually it kind of feels like we started dating again, like sober dating, because you're learning each other in a sober
yeah,
environment,
how
you know?
wild is that?
I know, but it's been fun. It's been a little different, but I mean, we're so supportive of each other. It really just it's been it's been interesting, but I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm happy. Like, I'm super
Yes.
happy where we're at.
Yeah, and we can all see it in Paul as well. And it really is, it's just an amazing journey, and we're so grateful to be able to be a little part of it, and that you can share it with us, because it's remarkable. It really is. So thank you, Barb, for doing that, for sharing with all of us, because it just means the world to us to hear, and we're just so proud of you, and we love you very much, and just
Thank you,
really
guys.
grateful. So
And the modeling world, it's like, you see what's going on in the world now, and you see
yeah,
all the dark stuff. Like, I
yeah.
wonder if that was my soul telling me, Barb, get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
This is not where
Yeah.
your soul needs to be. So like that modeling was really that was a real wide opening experience, especially seeing what the dark does to these people. Like I was like, oh, I could have turned out like one of those liberals.
Yeah. But you can
No,
see,
like I mean, I think about that. I'm like, man, what if I stayed in that? Like,
yeah, can't you see though, Barb, how so many people get involved so naively without really
yeah,
knowing, uh, and then all of a sudden you're hooked and you're been taken advantage of, and one thing leads to
mhm,
another. I mean, it's a terrible web that people are victims of. But
very
darn it,
much.
we're coming out of it, and
Darn
we're
it,
we're
I'm
gonna
letting
be
loose and I'm becoming a butterfly like I should have been all along.
exactly. And it's the divine timing. And now is the time for you and for all of us to
Yes.
be that way. And it's the perfect time. So I want to just for 1 second, since I have you by myself too, is to show Truth Teller Tales channel really quick. If anybody who isn't following it would follow it, it helps get out to more and more people. And we're doing cool things. And I'm so grateful Barb is a part of Truth Teller Tales channel. It's been so wonderful. Um, for her to be a part of this. And so we've got, the labor of love, which we're in now, and then the view of truth, and that's every Friday at 1 o'clock. Also, the 50th Truth Teller Tales, that was a crazy, incredible, wild brown table. I hope you'll all just check out
Yes.
because that was just really fascinating. The group of guys there, and the view of truth that Barb is on. We have incredible stories and incredible guests. This past time was Stormy Joe, and it just touched my heart.
Right
Barb
back.
went out for a second. It just touched my heart because he got really emotional for a minute. Stormy Joe did. So that was just real. That was really something, and
Hey,
I would
Ellen,
love for you all.
you have a
Yes.
troll in chat calling Barb a lesbian. If you wouldn't mind banning him, please.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
really? Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I will, and I see we have Tricia's in the house, and if you guys and hair therapy, you can do an mod stuff. If I could try to find it.
Somebody got him already. Nope.
You- Is it still there? I don't know how far down is it.
Oh, he just popped up underneath hair therapy there. If you can ban him,
Got it.
there's a
Hair
way to
therapy
ban
just
him.
said got it. Hair therapy said she just got it.
All right. Because you can mute him for the whole entire show and the channel as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That is just because somebody had an experience at one time doesn't mean that that person is that for the rest of their lives.
Of course. That's just but here's the thing, and I want to bring Tricia on. Those are the people that are in a bad way themselves.
Oh yeah,
They're
absolutely.
they are in a bad way.
Hi,
Well,
love.
oh my
Oh,
goodness, what an ordeal you have had. I can't believe you're here, poor kid.
I was so looking forward to this show because I love you, Barb. You know,
I love you too,
your
sweetie.
second show with us was just amazing, and I was looking so forward to it. And I tripped over Ivy's dog toy and slammed
you
my
poor
wrist
thing.
down on the hardwood floors. And literally, like 5 minutes later, I called Ellen. I was like, "My husband's taking me to the emergency room."
Oh, honey.
But I have to. I've still got my. So we got home in time, and I was listening to the tail end, but I didn't want to come in until the tail end because I didn't want to take away from the story.
I love your hat, by the way.
I had this in the emergency room. I was like, oh my God, they're either going to kill me and take my organs or.
Oh my God, you're a trip.
I was just I don't like hospitals, and I'm like,
I don't either.
We know too much, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I've ended up here. Like, what if they have to
Oh,
do surgery and then they put me under, and then they might give me the COVID jab, or my mind was just going
oh,
crazy.
Oh,
I
I
bet
feel
it was
you.
going.
And
Oh,
I'm on a little bit of fentanyl, so right now I feel great, but before that, oh my
I
gosh, it was hard.
bet.
Yeah, but
Well, uh, are you
I'm
in a
glad you're
sling?
here.
oh yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
poor
But
thing.
so they have I actually broke this when I was in 8th grade, my wrist, same one. So
Oh,
Oh,
no.
they do things differently now. But they did give me some drugs and something right in the broken piece to
Oh,
because they had to go and manipulate it. So they try to manipulate it back into place, and then I don't know if I'm going to need surgery yet. So we'll know in a week if it
I
stays.
will pray for you. Oh my
yes.
goodness.
All of us will for sure. Well, we're just so glad you joined us. When you had sent me the picture of you, I showed the picture uh, of you. Your nails looked really good. At least your nails looked really good for you.
I got a lot of compliments on my nails in there, and then I'm like, and then it dawned on me, oh my God, I'm in the ER and it's Valentine's Day.
Oh
Um,
gosh, yeah.
But
Oh,
I'll tell you, I had a really good experience. I have to say, they got me in and they were so nice. And, we'll see. But everybody was great. And apparently it's a slow night. So I was fortunate in that respect. I can't believe I'm home now. Like,
Yeah, I
that
know.
was
Not having to
fast.
be there. Yes.
but yeah, I could see like no makeup. And I was like, I'm just still going to go on and say hi. Cause I'm so sorry I
Oh,
missed this, Barb. I really
Sweetheart,
wanted to.
I'm not wearing makeup. I don't
You're
really
younger
wear
than me,
makeup.
though.
You still
Oh,
look
well,
gorgeous. Don't even.
you
Don't
do. I
even.
mean,
I got a frozen filter.
seriously. Yeah, no, you do. And Tricia, we'll talk about it later, but when Barb was talking, I realized because she was talking about love stories of her mom, love stories of Paul, love stories of her mother-in-law, I mean, it was tonight for Valentine's Day, it was so many love stories put together, and it was the perfect story to have tonight. And then being able to come out of all of that is the greatest love story that there is. And so it's been a wonderful night. I so grateful that Barb told her story, and I'm so grateful, Tricia, that you're home and that you got to join us for a minute. And as part of our family, we were all really concerned about you. So um
Well, I
great
would,
to
oh, I gotta tell you this. When they take you into the emergency room, then they call you into the room to take your vitals and get all your information. There was a rollaway hospital bed in front of me in that room, and I didn't get to take a picture because my normie husband was with me, and I was like,
Right.
if I pull my camera out now, he's gonna kill me. Do you know what the number of that bed was? Staring right at me.
17.
17. And I was like, I'm gonna be okay.
You're gonna be okay.
yes,
You're gonna be okay.
I could not
yes,
believe it. I
exactly.
wanted to get a picture so bad, but my husband was like right there, and I was like, oh, I don't want to push it.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable. I'm
Oh,
actually wearing a 17 necklace because it was our 17th wedding anniversary that we got
wow.
baptized on. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful story. Well, this has been a incredible, wonderful night for me and for the chat family. Sorry it wasn't so great for Tricia, but at least you're back
Could have been
home.
worse. Could have been
It
my
could have
right.
been worse. Right. Right.
Could have been my
Yes,
right hand.
exactly.
And it wasn't shattered.
Right.
Don't have a million
Yeah.
fragments.
Good.
So, and I could have fallen on my head. It
Right.
could have been
Right.
so much worse.
Right.
But I just wanted to pop in at the end to say hi, Barb, and I'm sorry I missed it, but I can't wait to watch the rewind.
Hi, sweetie. We missed you.
Well, yes, we did miss you so much, and thank you for a wonderful Saturday night. This was just so special, and just hearing Barb's story and then getting to have Tricia pop in at the end. So, love to you all. Love to the chat. That's a ferocious, wonderful, amazing. I can tell if something's not right in the chat. Boy, they're they're very protective, as your husband is as well. But
Yeah.
this is a family that protects each other, and
Yes.
I'm grateful for everybody here who's with us. So, love to you all. Can't wait for new things happening every single day. Come join us on Truth Teller Tales. I've got some cool interviews coming out next week. Tricia and I have a cool interview next Saturday. View of Truth that Barb is on every Friday with me at 1 o'clock. We have amazing things happening there. So hang out with us as much as you can. And we love you all who are with us, and love to you ladies here on the screen. And have just a really, truly wonderful rest of your weekend.
Yay.
All
Love
right.
you guys.
Love you
Love
very
you
much.
guys. Bye.
Bye bye. See you.